Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. This is going to be awesome. By the way, I am here, Walt Disney World Resort, and over by the Swan and Dolphin hotels, which are technically not Disney properties, but they are on Disney property. It's a beautiful evening. It's kind of rainy and overcast, but that is neither here nor there because compact discs. We're here to talk about compact discs. Just when I thought there couldn't be a new CD player that does actually something new, I have found two more CD players that literally do something that none of the others do. So without further ado, let's check it out. You're not going to want to miss this.
Welcome to Record-ology.
It's no secret on this channel that I love the compact disc format, and we have reviewed a lot of CD players, especially portable CD players, and I always think to myself, that's got to be the pinnacle of compact discs. But then somebody else comes out with something that does even more, features that I never even imagined, and such is the case today with these KLIM CD players, the Discovery and the Journey. KLIM, by the way, if you haven't been following along, has been making some fantastic CD players. We've done giveaways. We'll probably do giveaways in the future on our live shows. But they've just been making these great CD players, and these are their two newest models, and I definitely wanted to check them out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox these, test these, see what they're all about. Packaging, of course, is on point. Let's go ahead and start with the Discovery. Yeah, these boxes, I mean, they're embossed. They're just so, this is a premium thing, right? It does not feel cheap in the slightest. Like these foil stamped inlays, I mean, just fantastic. And that quality, in my experience so far, has translated to the product absolutely as well. We have a nice envelope to begin with. I love the details, you know what I mean? Like the whole experience. It's a tactile experience. Inside here we get these awesome foil stickers, and this is one of my favorite parts of the KLIM experience is this thank you comic, and it talks about how your product made its way into your hands, and it's such a creative way to do this. These guys, it's just cool. They're cool. Look at this. Just look at this. How is this not the coolest group of people? These are the kind of people you want making your CD player. Or making anything. Just having fun. You know what I mean? Taking some pride in what they do. User manual. Here's the accessory box. So open this up. Trying not to be overly gushing about this, but when it comes to the KLIM stuff, I do get excited about it because it really is good. Really, really good. Alright, so we've got an 1/8 inch cable there. We've got replacement ear cushions for the earbuds, and yeah, these are okay. There's a USB cable for charging. Here are the earbuds themselves. These are the same ones. They actually have a Velcro cable tie and a little protector for this. And check this out. How cool is that? The earbuds themselves, which are magnetic to the back, helps them from getting tangled up. And these ear cushions are memory foam. Those are not silicone. They're memory foam, which is actually surprisingly comfortable. And these are metal construction. They sound great. They really, really do. Cool. Love it. Look at this. Okay. We got the KLIM branding. A clear plastic window. Is that? I want to look at the front and see. Interesting. So I assumed that this area was like like a brushed aluminum finish, but in actuality, it's a clear window. Okay. And this is probably, the picture on the box is probably either a concept drawing or a pre-production model. So sometimes there is a variance. So it's always interesting to see how that variance translates to the final product. That being said, form factor, excellent. We got 4 foam pads there. We have a lock switch, hold switch down there. We do have the protective screen cover. These buttons will light up What I like about the design of the KLIM CD players is they give you plenty of buttons. It's not all menu-driven stuff. I always prefer a physical button over a menu-driven button, as it were. And this really allows you to access things that you want. One thing that is helpful for people that listen to CDs at night, such as myself, is the fact that the buttons will light up and the screen lights up. So you can see this. You can operate it in pitch darkness. You know what? It looks like there's a screen protector, a protector on top of this as well. There is. Okay. So yeah, there we go. Let's go ahead and open it up. Take out the protective insert. There's a look at the laser assembly. There's a shock mount to it, and leverage spots for a 3-inch and 5-inch disc. Bottom of the lid. Obviously, we got some components in there, so there's like a shielded panel. This piece of plastic does look a bit cheap to me. I mean, it's just clear plastic. I think that would have been cool to have that like smoked or something like that. That being said, you'll definitely know if your disc is spinning up, which may or may not be a good thing. Why do I say that? Because these CD players don't necessarily spin the disc in real time. And what I mean by that is it will spin the disc up and load it into RAM, and then the audio is played back from RAM. That's the anti-skip. So if you look down, you may be hearing music out of your CD player, but the disc is not spinning. And we'll look at this in a minute. From a high level, this thing does some amazing things. It does what you'd expect. I mean, it plays CDs, it plays SD cards, it has an FM radio. But what you may not expect is it FM transmits. So if you want to have a compact disc player in your car, and your car doesn't have one, well, problem solved, because you can just tune your radio to a certain frequency, and this will broadcast to your FM radio, whatever's playing on the CD. And we'll test that out. In addition, this actually records. That's a first. I have never had a portable CD player that records anything. It doesn't record onto CD, it records onto SD card. So you can record from the CD, possibly the FM radio, to the SD card, and we'll test that as well. Now, a lot of the features of this unit are probably going to be replicated with the Journey. So when we review the Journey next, later in this video, I'm only going to show you the differences. We're not going to go through all of this again. By the way, I'll be using my Studebaker boombox as an FM radio and speaker system for the CD player. Okay, we've got our CD in, and I'm flipping the power switch. And I got the beautiful blue lights. I love the backlit display. Wow, you can definitely tell when the disc is spinning. So it's going to load the disc and just start playing it, I presume, to begin with. Wow, look at the EQ, or the VU meter, I should say. That's amazing. We can skip. That's amazing. And we've got EQ modes. You can see pop, rock, classical, all that. Ooh, wow. The bass on that. It's almost too much bass. Wow. And there's the BBS bass boost system. That looks so cool. A bit of a strobe warning, actually, but if you don't have problems with flashing patterns, that looks pretty dang cool. That looks very cool. Let's say we want to go ahead and play the CD over FM wirelessly to a radio. So what we're going to want to do is tap down here. It says FM off. Then you press it again, and it will allow you to toggle through different frequencies to pick one that is best suited for your area. And the reason why there's different frequencies is different areas have different bandwidth usage. So there may be a radio station at a certain frequency in one area but not another, and that's the basic idea. So let's go ahead and pick 79.3 and pick that up on our radio. Meanwhile, we can go ahead and play the CD. It's already buffered into RAM, so the disc isn't spinning, but as you can see by the VU meter there, it is actually playing. We're looking for 79.3, was it? It should be around here.
Take you to play you can't keep. with us. Affection. We get enamored by that. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean,
okay, that was a bad frequency, so I'm picking another one. Not bad frequency, but there's a station on that frequency. So I'm going to pick another one. Okay, now we're going to try 88.5. That's usually a pretty vacant area. There it is. Okay, now let's see about this SD card recording capabilities. I'm putting the SD card in like that. I'm going to spin up the disc. As you can see, this thing is loaded in features, and even though this video is fairly lengthy, which I apologize for, I'm trying to keep it condensed, I promise, there's still a lot that we're not even going into detail on, like the Bluetooth transmit feature. Still not sure what this little speaker looking thing is there. There is no mention of it in the manual that I could find. Okay, so to record, we're going to long press the EQ button down here that also doubles as the record functionality. So we're going to long press, and it is now recording. And you just let it record, and then to stop the recording, you long press again. I wonder if this is like a monitor speaker, so that you can just like test the playback. So it maybe just be like this tiny little speaker, which would be handy because if you're making a recording, it would be, and this is something Tecmo talked about recently, sometimes it's handy just to have a speaker, even if it's not a high quality one, just to test if there's something on the recording. So I'm assuming that may be what this is, but it's a kind of a cool feature to be able to record from your CDs onto SD. And I'm curious about the FM radio piece as well. So I'm going to long press to stop the recording. And then I'm going to switch modes. Okay, switching over to SD card now. And I guess I should probably plug it into the speakers. Okay, we're playing off of, not the disc. Gonna remove the disc. We're playing off of SD card now. Okay, so this is really wild. You're gonna have to listen carefully because it is fairly subtle, but you can speed up or slow down playback on the SD card. So again, we're listening to our recorded audio on the SD. The CD's long gone at this point. Listen when I slow it down or speed it up. It's amazing you can do this. I'm not sure why you would want to do this necessarily, but we're at regular speed right now. Let me skip back to the original song. Okay, now we're gonna speed it up. That's faster than normal, and then slow down. Interesting feature. I'm not sure why you would want that, but yeah, you can do it, absolutely. I almost forgot to test this playback without anything connected. I think that's not a speaker because there's nothing happening. Maybe it's a microphone? No, it won't let you record if there's no source. So yeah, I have no idea what that thing is. Also, just a word of appreciation for the actual resolution of the audio file up there at the top, 128K MP3. And there you go. That's the other question we were going to ask was what's the resolution of the recording? And not surprisingly, 128K MP3. Listenable, not the highest fidelity, but I listen to plenty of 128 MP3s. You can fit a lot in a small space and a heck of a lot in a large space of files that are compressed like that. Oh yeah, I'm on the Millennium Falcon. You want to see how this comes out? Stay tuned to the end. This is going to be sick. I love being on the Millennium Falcon. This place is cool. This is awesome. I love my life. This is incredible. Okay, that was the Discover, and this is the Journey. Again, we're not going to go through every painstaking detail, but I wanted to illustrate what was different about this unit. So touring the outside, almost identical. In fact, I would say that probably is identical as with the bottom side. Top side here, we've got a different button layout with the buttons surrounding the screen. I think that looks sharp. There's no window on this one, so if you're a window fan, then this may not be the one for you. That all looks the same. And I'm looking at the feature set here. I want to see if there's anything really different about this one. I like the button layout on this one better. It's more ergonomic. You can hold it in your hand and, I just like the layout of that better. Also, I think the window on this is too big. It is cool in a way, but I think it's too much motion. It's kind of distracting. These are personal opinions, of course. I don't need a window. So this doesn't have a window. I'm fine with that. I don't need a window, especially with these days when CD players don't even spin the disc all of the time. So yeah, this has all of the same features from what I can tell that the other one does. It does things a little bit differently here and there, but overall, I think I like this one a little bit better. This is nice. So one thing we didn't test out with the other device was the radio, just listening to the radio. So let's do that. I am going to go to FM mode, and it says no radio text. That's cool that it could even possibly display radio text. And let's go ahead and scan the dial. It's so cool how it visually shows you these things, right? This screen, this display is going above and beyond in terms of what it shows you. I'm a visual person. I like to see, little doodad. I know this is silly stuff. It's silly stuff, but this is part of the tactile things when it comes to CDs that you get to do that you can't do with streaming. We talk all the time about the tactile interactions with vinyl, but this is an example of a tactile interaction with a CD player, or in this case, a radio. Let's go ahead and see what it picks up. So yeah, it works good. And I will tell you this, both of these units sound fantastic. Both of these units really work good. And the headphones are surprisingly good headphones. They give you a case. It's kind of like pick your preference in terms of design and layout and feature set, which is cool because there are differences, and I know we all have our own personal preferences. So look through and see what they have. They have several different models. These, I think, are the elite sort of cream of the crop models. And although it is a somewhat significant investment in terms of CD players these days, and the fact that the battery life is, a finite thing, I think that you can get years of enjoyment out of these, and they are just cool devices, and they do very much perform well. As always, I want to hear your comments, your thoughts in the comments down below. I'll put links as well if you want to check these out. All right, guys, I am on board the Millennium Falcon. Just had an awesome adventure, but it is time to go. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you next time.